So these are some Baohong papers that I've been using for a really long time, artist grade Baohong papers, and I've got one in the cold press, medium textured. You can see here the texture that's showing on the surface, and I've got one here in hot press. Okay, the rough version of this paper is just a more exaggerated version of this. I recommend basically medium if you're getting started. Hot press is a little bit tricky for beginners, but this is some of the best quality paper and the best value paper that you can get around. I used to use a lot of other brands and I switched over to this a few years ago. Haven't looked back. A lot of professional artists use this, and a little swatch test, you can just see how the paint performs. And this is the cold press or medium textured paper, so you can see that beautiful texture of the paper come through, the vibrancy of the paints as well. Okay, extremely high quality, 100% cotton watercolor paper, and that's so important for a watercolor artist, because if you're using other types of papers, it's not sized properly, the colors are not going to appear as vibrant. Not only that, when you layer over the top, you put another color over the top of a previous color, it's going to lift it up. So you're going to need some paper like this, which is going to really up the quality of your paintings, make life a lot easier for you when you paint. So I've got a few paintings. I'll just show you some examples of what the paper is capable of. Okay, I've painted obviously more of these landscape style, and the great thing is you get a lot of this beautiful blending effect that you can get with this medium or cold press paper. Beautiful soft gradations. Here's some sharper sort of images, but I've got some paintings. I've got some sort of mixture here of sharpness and softness in there as well. Okay, I also do some line work, so drawing with a pen and then going over the top in watercolors. Okay, you get really soft sort of stuff like this too. So the paper is very versatile. Yeah, can handle pen work. Not an issue at all. Just show you a little bit up close. Okay, just normal watercolor as you have here. Okay, and it's very durable. As you can see, I use a bit of card or a bit of metal to scratch out head highlights at the end, like for example this little shrub in the center, and the paper holds up so well. And the great thing is that if you store the paper nicely, all watercolor paper, you need to store it in an area, all your kind of paintings store it in an area where there's no moisture, even in like a sealed container or like a folder or something like that. It preserves the colors, and it's basically archival quality. So here's a few more that I've done also recently. So this here is basically a bit of oops, let me just go back here. This is the hot press paper, so you can see it's smoother, a little harder to control. Okay, back again to the medium textured paper, but this is hot press paper again, hot press, and you can see there you can definitely get a lot more detail, but it's difficult to control. But the colors look more vibrant when you're painting on hot press paper. Okay, here's another one, another little scene that I did. So yeah, I really recommend this paper if you're even getting started painting in watercolors. You want to get the best quality paper that you can afford, essentially, because that's going to make a huge difference in your paintings. Okay, apart from the paint itself, the paper is probably the biggest factor, and it's something I didn't realize when I started painting. A lot of the techniques that I was trying to use didn't work because the paper was rubbing out. I was getting bits of pulp coming out. The paints didn't appear vibrant on the paper that I was using. So a lot of these wet techniques as well, they just don't work unless you have proper cotton watercolor paper. And Baohong do some really great value papers, and something I recommend. That's all I've been using as an artist and a teacher here in Melbourne. So anyway, that's basically it. I hope the video was helpful for you.